Hi, welcome. I am Kelly Hearn, and we are going to be doing something just a little bit different today. Today, I'm going to talk from the heart a little bit. You are on the channel for transitional leadership, where we always talk about helping individuals and businesses implement leadership and career development to create a life that you love. But today, I'm going to go a little bit more personal. And if you have been following along for long, you know that these lessons always overlap. But this one is a little bit more of a throwback because all of my old lessons used to come from lessons that I learned from my kids and how those applied to the work world. And so if you go back to those old blogs, there's over 200 of them now. So if you go way back in the beginning, that is where those lessons started. But today is graduation day in our house. We have a fifth grader graduating from elementary school, going on to middle school, different district, different, much larger school, new kids, new environment completely. We have our middle son who is staying kind of where he's at, marching the course, watching what's going on with his big brother and his little brother. And then our youngest son, our last little baby boy, graduating from kindergarten tonight in that same elementary school, kind of starting on his elementary journey, while our oldest closes that chapter and goes on to the next one. And it's really got me thinking a lot about how a lot of parents, a lot of moms in particular, get really kind of melancholy around this time. And I'm certainly not going to judge anyone for how they feel at any moment, particularly at one that is such a change, such a juncture in life. But that's just never really been my story. And I think that it is in large part due to the way that I look at comfort. The blog this week, which was kind of coincidental. I didn't plan for it to land on the week where we had graduation, but the blog for this week is all about the cost of comfort. What are you giving up by staying comfortable? Because we talk about the cost of success. We talk about the cost of going out on a limb or taking a risk and what would happen if you'd fall or what sort of new responsibilities or new pressures you would take on by taking a new chance, particularly in your career as you're evolving as an adult person. But we don't talk to people about the cost of comfort. The wouldn't it really be terrible if you didn't try and see what you could do? Wouldn't it be heartbreaking if you looked back on your life with the regret of not trying? Wouldn't it be hard to just stay doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results? Wouldn't that be painful? You might know those lessons, but we don't say them in our regular day to day. If you tell a group of people, a group of loved ones that you are going to make a big change, they usually don't come at you with those sort of sentiments. They come at you with the first ones. Won't it be scary? Are you risking your financial future? Are you, putting all of these other things as a risk because they're trying to get you to stay safe. They're trying to get you to stay comfortable. And that's great for those people. But the way that I look at it is I appreciate the thought around safety and the thought around protection, but I want to know about those costs of the comfort as well. And so today, when my kids graduate and my oldest is talking about how scary it's going to be to change to this new school, how intimidating it'll be to be the low man on the totem pole again and to be, meeting all of these new kids for the first time and how is that going to look and feel when he came from a school where he was one of 17 in his class to now be one of, I think, three different classes in the grade. It'll be new. It'll be scary. But it never occurred to him to stay comfortable. It never occurred to him to try and stay in the fifth grade because that's not an option. That's not the way we pose it to children. We don't pose it as you should stay comfortable, you should stay safe, don't do anything too scary, don't take a risk. We only do that to ourselves. We only do that to other adults because we believe that while it is sad to see, what used to be change and to some effect die. And I think that's what those moms and those other parents are mourning is the loss of that younger kid, the loss of the baby, the loss of the toddler, because they're growing into something new and changing. We have this idea that there's better on the other side when we're young and when we're working with those young kids or talking to those young kids. But somewhere around 18 to 25, maybe 30, we reverse that and we say, stay put, stay where you are, stay safe, stay in your lane. Don't go outside of what you have normally expected. Don't risk everything. Don't be irresponsible. Stay in your expertise. That's what we tell the adults because we don't want to risk that. We want them to stay comfortable. So my message for you today is remember how you felt as a kid where it didn't seem like an option. You had to go and chase whatever that next exciting thing was because that was the only way to do it. And yes, it might be hard in some respects. And yes, you might, miss what the old you had with your buddies on the playground and everything that the old version of you represented. But there is so much more amazing opportunity when you lean into the discomfort and when you see what you're actually capable of. So as an adult, keep that same mentality, lean into that, and give the other adults in your life the same benefit that you would give the kids. Don't reserve that excited, awe-inspiring, what comes next question for kids as they're going through school and maybe starting their first jobs. Save it for everyone because I don't just want to be excited for him to go from 10 to 12 to 16 to 18. I want to be excited when he and I both go from 25 to 35 to 45 and beyond, because there is so much more excitement when you lean into the discomfort of what can become your next year or your next 5 years or your next 10 years. And you don't have to be 10 to be excited for it. Again, no shame and no shade to any of the parents who would feel, a little bit more heartbroken in this chapter. I know that there are lots of moms in particular that would be going through my spot of one kid coming out of elementary school and knowing that your real last baby isn't a baby anymore because he's not even in that kindergarten stage. And they would be mourning kind of the loss of what they had. That's okay. You can lean into that discomfort too. And the same goes for you. If you're coming out of being a stay-at-home mom or you're coming out of a time in your career where you had to be home to help look after kids at a certain time, but now you're getting more of that freedom that comes with them being more independent and being a little bit older and able to take care of themselves, you can lean into the sadness and into the discomfort. You can see what you are able to do and what you would be able to accomplish by leaning into that discomfort while still being grateful for everything that you've gone through with them. And if this is you, then I really want to encourage you. If you are kind of stepping into this new phase, this new stage, I have a totally free workshop called Aligned Ambitions, where we go through and cast a vision for what you want life to look like. And if you are in a transition state where maybe life looks a whole lot different for you in, the coming weeks, the coming months, that it didn't look like yesterday, what an amazing time to go through this exercise and figure out what your vision can look like for yourself. So you can click the link below to get access into Aligned Ambitions to reverse engineer your goals to support the vision that you have for yourself. It really is just divine providence that all of these things kind of lined up and were available at this same time while I'm kind of in this transition because, man, I love supporting everybody else as we're kind of going through these same type of things together. So that's it. Leave your messages in the comments. If you have some support for a mom going through this stuff, by all means, leave it there. I need it. There's probably other moms who are going to see this that need it as well. And if you could use some help casting that vision for what life can look like on the other side of this transition for you, check out that link. I would love to help you, friend.